In some of the craziest news I've seen ever, scientists have reconstructed the DNA from fossils and brought back to life formerly extinct direwolves. And for all of you Game of Thrones fans, you're going to be really happy. Jon Snow's probably really happy right now as well. And this is the first sounds of video of these direwolves howling in over 10,000 years on the planet Earth. It's really cute, but how long until some celebrity, some billionaire wants to genetically create their own direwolf? We're tinkering with some science that could change everything. And we know how Fauci liked to tinker with some science. In the next major breaking story, Chief Justice John Roberts has just dropped the hammer on the liberal judge Boasberg, who had ordered the Department of Justice to return this Kilmar Garcia pictured here on my left, a former MS-13 gang member, maybe, allegedly. The Department of Justice was given an order by Judge Boasberg to have him back in the United States by midnight tonight. Well, in a stunning turn of justice and reality-based lawfare, Chief Justice John Roberts says, hell no. He can stay in prison in El Salvador with all of his brethren, all of his other little MS-13 buddies. And this is an absolute shocker. I thought for sure the Supreme Court would intervene, but in favor of bringing this guy back, in keeping in line with the Democrat Party that wants more criminals here in the United States. They want to get rid of police. They want to defund the police. They said it themselves in many parades. And Chief Justice John Roberts, I don't know what you're up to. I don't know if they got your medication right, but you made a logical decision by telling Boasberg, you're out of line, bro. This guy needs to stay in prison in El Salvador where he needs to be. If you're a homeowner, you need to listen to this. When's the last time you checked on your home title? That's the legal proof you own your house. If you're like me, the answer is never. The problem is, in today's AI and cyber world, scammers are stealing home titles and your equity is the target. Here's how it works. Criminals forge your signature on one document, use a fake notary stamp that they probably bought from China, pay a small fee with your county, and boom, your home title has been transferred out of your name. Then they take out loans. They use your equity or even sell your property. You won't even know it's happened until you get a collection or foreclosure notice. That's why you need to stop what you're doing and find out today if you're already a victim. Use promo code BIKER at HomeTitleLock.com to make sure your title is still in your name. In another crazy story, the Department of Justice has just filed a sealed motion in the case against Ryan Wesley Routh in Florida, charged with trying to take out Donald Trump on September 15th at the Trump International Golf Club. He was the one that was laying in the bushes with some sappy plates in front of him. The filing is so secretive, it's marked ex parte in camera and under seal. Basically, certain eyes only. It is that sensitive that even Ryan Routh's lawyers cannot see this. And it cites the Classified Information Procedures Act, which is the CIPA. What do you think's really going on here? What government agency was paying for this guy? Has this got ties to Zelensky, Obama, Joe Biden, CIA, FBI? Has this got something to do with the people with little hats? Is this direct ties to what we've seen with the JFK files? I have never heard of a court case, actually the DOJ sealing this so that the defendant's lawyer cannot even see it. Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, they're up to something, and this spells bad news for criminals and Ryan Wesley Routh. I'm saying pepper your anus, dude. Another crazy story, Donald Trump's tariffs are working. The Democrat Party won't admit it. Liberal news media won't admit it, but I've got a clip here that shows exactly that.
Well, the commercial break happened, and now the Dow is in a little bit of a positive territory. So a little bit of volatility as people price in some of the discussions this morning, as the White House says over 50 countries have contacted the White House looking to negotiate or at least discuss tariffs, and then the president having that meeting with Netanyahu today at 2 o'clock, a press conference at 2:30.
The Dow Jones is up. The tariffs are working. China is losing. All of these other countries are suddenly on the blower calling Don saying, hey, let's make a deal, brother. The liberal news media came out with some fake news and they were caught red-handed.
To Eamon Javers in D.C. again. Eamon.
Spoke to Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, on the phone just a short time ago, and she tells me it is quote-unquote fake news that the White House is considering a 90-day pause. So the White House pouring cold water on this idea, wherever it came from, that they're considering a 90-day pause on tariffs, saying that the president is committed to his tariff regime, and any reports that he's considering a 90-day pause are, quote, fake news. That from the White House press secretary on the record just a short time ago to me on the cell phone here as we try to sort through where this came from and why it is that the market became convinced that that might be a possibility. The White House saying it is not a possibility, Carl.
Who would have guessed CNBC put out some fake news? Caroline Leavitt, press secretary, you're fake news. You're lying. Back of the bus, back of the room. We're getting your press pass pulled. Apparently, Caitlin Collins has already been kicked out of the front row. CNN, back of the bus. What do you think about this? This is a direct reply to the liberal news media. No wasting time.
Larry, I can tell you that there are 50, 60, maybe almost 70 countries now who have approached us. So it's going to be a busy April, May, maybe into June. And Japan is a very important military ally. They're a very important economic ally. And the U.S. has a lot of history with them. So
we do have a lot of military history with Japan. It went kaboom boom out of the Enola Gay, and that's why they respect us. But right now, Scott Bessent just said 50, 60, maybe 70 countries are on the phone calling Trump saying, hey, we're going to go to a zero tariff. We don't want you to kill our economy. We don't want you to take us out. We rely on selling goods and services in the United States. You're our biggest consumer. So when you start tariffing us, it damages our bottom line. These countries are afraid of Donald Trump. He is the wild card. He is bringing the heat, the art of the deal.
We stand ready to negotiate with the United States. Indeed, we have offered 0 for 0 tariffs for industrial goods, as we have successfully done with many other trading partners.
So there's the EU trade secretary saying, hey, we'll go to zero tariffs as well. You're that important to us. Last but not least, we've got one of these intelligent little protesters, and she's so upset.
I'm at the protest right now in New York City, anti-Trump, anti-fascist protest, and I have one question. Where the f*** is Gen Z? These people are cheering. They're talking like it's just the 60s.
Gen Z is at work. That's where Gen Z is. Gen Z doesn't have time to go play games with their hijab and protest in the name of another country that hates you. That's where they're at.
Just like the 60s, and they're having conversations and walking slowly. There's no fight here. There's no youth here. It's all 30-somethings and their children.
All the protesters. Where's everyone else? Because all you're seeing's old people. Rumor has it AARP is in the kaputs. And George Soros gave them a little money, indivisible, for their mailing list. Rumor has it, allegedly, that all these retirees that are struggling are out here pandering and peddling some protest for a little bit of grift. That's what they need. They need some cash. Guys, that's a rundown from Monday's news. The top 5 stories that I could find for you. This is the Vet Biker. Smash that like and subscribe button. Thumbs up. I'll see you on the road.